The Secret to Overcoming the Age 5 Crisis. A Guide to Family Happiness. Hello everyone. Today I want to share a topic that every parent has either experienced or will face at some point. The emotional crises of a 5-year-old. This is a natural phase in a child's journey of growing up. But sometimes it leaves the whole family feeling stressed and exhausted. I came across an amazing article from a leading parenting expert, and I'd like to retell it to you with all my sincerity. Like a friend walking alongside you on this journey. Together, we'll explore whether these tantrums are normal, when we should start to worry, and how we can gently help our children navigate through them. I'll especially emphasize this, no matter the nature of the crisis. If your child starts harming themselves, it's something parents need to pay close attention to. And let's not forget, our own mental well-being plays a huge role in shaping our children's emotions. So, let's dive in. Are tantrums at age 5 normal? Friends, imagine a day when your child suddenly starts crying, screaming, or even hitting back when things don't go their way. At that moment, I bet many of us wonder, is my child okay? I want to reassure you that these tantrums are actually a very natural part of growing up. At 5 years old, kids are learning to manage their emotions and become more independent. Experts say tantrums typically start around 18 months, peak between 18 and 24 months, and then taper off between 42 and 48 months. By age 5, if your child occasionally throws a fit, cries, or yells, that's completely normal, so don't worry too much. But if they start breaking things, hurting others, or the tantrums drag on endlessly, that's when we need to pay closer attention. Hearing this, I feel a little relieved, knowing my child isn't the only one going through this. Right? When should parents start worrying? Signs we can't ignore. Now, I'd like you all to listen closely to something really important. Not every tantrum is the same, and there are times when we need to sound the alarm. Experts have pointed out 5 warning signs that we, as parents, can't brush off. First, if your child's anger turns violent, meaning in 10 to 20 tantrums, more than half involve aggression toward caregivers or destroying things, that's a red flag. Second, what breaks my heart the most is when a child hurts themselves. Maybe they bang their head or scratch themselves. These aren't just ordinary outbursts. They could signal deeper emotional pain, even linked to depression. Next, if tantrums happen too often, 10 to 20 times a month on separate days, or 5 times a day on average, your child might be at risk of serious issues. Fourth, tantrums lasting over 25 minutes are another sign of trouble. And finally, if your child can't calm down without your help, they might be struggling to regulate their emotions. Hearing this, I feel both a pang of empathy for my child and a heavier sense of responsibility. Have any of you seen these moments with your little ones? How can we help our kids through this crisis? Friends, here's where I want to share some practical steps that I believe can turn tough days into meaningful moments with our kids. When your child is in the middle of a tantrum, the first thing is to keep them safe. If they're screaming or trying to hurt someone, gently move them to a calm space and hold them tight so they feel protected. I remember once holding my child for a long time. They resisted at first, but slowly they settled down. And that feeling was so warm. Next, check if they're hungry, tired, or bored, because sometimes a snack or a gentle touch can change everything. I've learned not to argue or punish them in the heat of the moment. It only makes things worse. Instead, try teaching them to take deep breaths. Or later, when the storm has passed, sit down and talk about feelings. I once asked my child, "How did you feel back there?" and was amazed when they opened up. It's a way for them to learn to express instead of explode. Lastly, if tantrums keep happening, dig a little deeper to see if something specific is bothering them. Maybe they just need us to listen more. Why do kids have so many tantrums? Have you ever wondered why your child gets so upset so easily? I used to think it was just stubbornness. But it turns out there's so much more to it. Kids don't yet know how to control their emotions. That's the main reason. But there are special cases that make me pause and reflect. For instance, if your child is highly sensitive, they might get overwhelmed by noise or lights. Or if they have conditions like autism, ADHD, or speech delays, they're more prone to frustration. Even sleepless nights can lower their tolerance and spark tantrums before bedtime. What really hit me hard is how our own struggles, when I'm exhausted or arguing with my partner, seem to ripple into their emotions too. It made me realize that to help my child, I need to take care of myself as well. If your child shows those serious signs I mentioned earlier, don't hesitate to reach out to a psychologist. They can be a lifeline when we've tried everything and still feel stuck. Dear friends, the parenting journey is never easy. But I truly believe that with love and patience, we can guide our kids through any challenge. The age 5 crisis isn't something to fear. It's a chance to understand our children better and grow closer to them. Hold them tight, listen to them deeply, and don't forget to look after yourself too. I hope these words bring a little light to your stormy days. Together, we'll build happy families, won't we?